Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchups for the 10th of April. Plenty to cover as always. Be wary that they may do 4 Champions League games for next week as they did with the 4 Europa League games, which was an ultimate curveball and honestly did not see it coming, but one of those things regardless. So we can smash the like, be awesome, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter, G's a legend. All the links are down below for playlists on the channel and social media links as always. So plenty to cover. Starting off in France this week with PSG versus Monaco. Only French route that seems to stand out for what I see, and it's kind of like the top 2 teams in France. Be wary of this. In terms of options of players, PSG, you've got like Kimpembe, you've got Kurzawa, Munir, Rabiot and Morta. So you've got plenty on the PSG front. Monaco, you can look at Benaglio, you could go Gazal, Jovetic. You'd not find it too difficult. I'm saying it's a 6 out of 10. But realistically, could it happen? I think with some of the bigger games that are seeming to be featuring this week, I think this game may be avoided. Over to the EPL, you have a kind of a big game between these 2 teams, which is Crystal Palace and Brighton. Apparently they hate each other when they play, but I'm only giving it a 4 out of 10. While both teams are still fighting to stay up, I feel there is other games out there that are just a bit more important, and I feel that they will just kind of bypass this option. While they always like doing an EPL option, I just feel this week, just with what games are out there, I think they will opt to passing it. But don't be surprised regardless if they were to just throw this in. But Benteke, Izquierdo, Lewis Dunk, Cabaye, these kind of players would be who you'd kind of be looking at, and it wouldn't be very difficult in all honesty. Lokadia, another one, obviously his upgraded card. But keep yourself wary of the EPL option. But don't be surprised if they were to throw like say a Manchester United game or a Liverpool game, but keep wary of that regardless. Bundesliga has Bayern versus Borussia Monchengladbach, but the one that really stands out is Schalke versus Dortmund, or the Riviera derby. That is what the first of the main shoots that I really fancy this week. But regardless, I would still prepare for a Bundesliga based route, because if there's 2 options, there should at least still be a decent bit of hype within the league to help you out. So like Vent, from like Schalke, you could go Konoplyanka, you could go Wagner, Rafinha, obviously not Kimmich, because obviously Kimmich is now an 84 rated, but you could look at Ulreich, you could look at Toljan, you could look at Pulisic, there's Philip, Rudy, Castro, Weigl, Sahin. There's so many players between Bayern, Monchengladbach, Schalke and Dortmund, realistically, that you could put in your club. Benfica, Porto, big game in Portugal, top 2 as well, and when it's 2 of the biggest teams in Portugal, you've kind of really got to fancy it. I've gave it a strong 7. I really do fancy it as my second main shout of the week. Players to kind of look at is like Doumbia, Rafa, Fejasa, Luisao, Hernani, Pereira, Martins. There's Martins obviously Sporting, in case you're wondering, Corona. There's plenty to really work with in the league and the team, so don't find yourself short. As long as you cover nationalities, rarities, all that good stuff, you won't find yourself short. But I quite fancy this game regardless. There is good shout. Third option is Galatasaray versus Istanbul Basaksehir. Apologies if I butchered that, but really strong shout yet again. I do fancy this. This is the top 2 in Turkey as well, so you're kind of seeing a bit of a trend here. Big 2, but it's also a notable game. You'd probably look between guys like Skirtle for Fenerbahce, but you'd look at Belhanda, Van Quer, Emre Belazoglu, Yilmaz, Derdiok, Babel. There's tons like Galatasaray, Kameni as well for Fenerbahce. You wouldn't find yourself short on who to buy. It's just a case of making sure you get the overall and the rating. Spain, 2 games of Seville versus Villarreal and Barca versus Valencia. I'm giving both a 5 out of 10. I don't see past either happening, mainly because I feel they're going to go other ways this week. I really do have that slight feeling. But regardless, if you're going to go for this, like Sevilla, you could look as high as Nzonzi if you're really that keen. But in reality, you would look at Ganzo, Kayer, Rico, Vermaelen, Gaia, Thomas Partey, Sami Castillo, there's tons. There's honestly Valencia. You could look at Kondogbia as well. You're not going to find yourself Gonçalo Guedes as another. Honestly, between, as I said, with these four, they're fairly straightforward to buy. As long as you're covering 79 rated, I would say you're fine. 5 out of 10 though is what I'm giving it. I don't have a personal preference of either though. Over to the Championship, we have Wolves versus Birmingham. Now, a lot of people would say, why is this not higher than a 4 out of 10? The reason why I don't have it as higher than a 4 out of 10 is because just of other games featured, and while Wolves have a chance of being the champions and Birmingham have a chance of being relegated, I know Wolves fans would be very excited to relegate Birmingham, but I don't fancy it happening. I feel they will go for other options. But still, for Wolves and Birmingham you'd look at Ndoye and dude at right wing, Samu Petiero. Wolves, you can look at Bonatini, Helder Costa, Ndiaye, Bolly. You wouldn't find yourself short of options. Ruben Neves, Sayas, as others. Over to Russia is Dinamo versus Lokomotiv Moscow. I'm giving it a 5. Whenever I do see a Russian league option, I'm always like, oh, that could feature. I don't fancy this whatsoever. Lokomotiv, there's like a decent amount you can kind of work with, like Peknovic and like Korluka. Dinamo, you can look at the dude that's up top. I'm trying to think off the top. Obviously, Wanderson doesn't play at Dinamo anymore, so it kind of hampers you a little bit on goals because he was the only goal, I believe. But in terms of the league in general, you look at like Naboa, who's transferred, Farfan, Jorginho, the Ignisevic brothers, Akinfeev, Smolnikov, Ivanovic, Yuri Zurkov, Smolov, Zuba. There's tons of kind of players, but that's kind of what I'm going for. Then the last route of the week that I'm noticing of is PSV versus Ajax, which is a strong 7 out of 10. Both teams haven't really performed to maybe the best that they have been lately. They've been a bit up and down, but still top 2 in Holland regardless. But for me, as long as you're covering like guys like Ziyech, Lozano in your squad, you're not going to find yourself really short at all. As long as you're at least a 75 rated squad, I feel. Obviously they may decide to pass on this and opt for another option, but keep yourself prepared regardless. And I meant to say as well, in the Crystal Palace versus Brighton one, Spurs versus Man City is the alternative EPL game for this particular week. In terms of other games that I have noted down on this, but I don't want to kind of weigh you down too much more, is Plymouth versus Portsmouth, AIK versus Djurgardens, Sydney versus Melbourne Victory, and then you have your Champions League games of Roma versus Barcelona, Manchester City versus Liverpool, Bayern versus Sevilla, and Real Madrid versus Juventus. So there's your second leg ties for the quarterfinals. But hopefully you find this useful as always. Let me know in the comments down below what your top 4 for the week is. And just to remind you, my top 4 is Schalke Dortmund, Benfica Porto, PSV versus Ajax, Galatasaray versus Basaksehir. Nearly had a hiccup there. And my 2 safety net ones I'm going for is PSG Monaco and Bayern versus Monchengladbach. All the routes will be down in the description below, guys, for all the teams and ratings as well. Smash like as always, sub to the channel if you're new, and I will catch you all later.